D-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 rocket with science for today and for deep space exploration tomorrow.
Kennedy Space Center, April 8, 2016. SpaceX and NASA work side by side to successfully launch and land the first ever privatized commercial rocket.
SpaceX is a private rocketry company based in El Segundo, California. It's owned by Elon Musk, a billionaire who's interested in space exploration. And the rocket that they launched and then actually guided it back and landed it on a platform at sea, which is really an amazing accomplishment because nobody's really ever been able to do that before. And it's really cool because it allows them to reuse the rockets, which makes the actual launching process a lot less expensive.
And a successful landing of the first stage offshore.
I'm convinced that the way to go for the future of the space program is to privatize it. I worked on the space program, and everybody else who worked on it in the 60s thought we'd have a base on the moon by now. Thought we'd have gone to Mars. And where are we? We're still hanging around Earth. I saw what the problem was. The NASA Space Nuclear Propulsion Office, they didn't know what they wanted to do with the space program, with the nuclear rocket engine.
Experts suggest that the NASA we see today might be a front.
It seems kind of bizarre to me that after we put men on the moon in 1969 and to 1972, that this is such big news that we've got a private company launching rockets. I mean, everybody thought back in that era that we were going to be doing this kind of thing all the way through the 70s and 80s, and we probably figured we'd be on the moon and be on Mars by now. But it seems as if there's been something holding us back for years and years, and it's really hard to put your finger on exactly what that is.
Could it be that NASA has another agenda?
I feel that NASA is using private space and private industry as a cover-up. And the reason why is because when you take everything out of governmental into private, you can do a lot more things behind the scenes, and you don't have to answer to anybody.
I feel like anytime NASA's involved, I'm very suspicious because I don't trust them based on my research and years of experience in dealing with them. I don't trust them on political issues, and I worry that they're going to somehow undermine the private company and undermine SpaceX.
Landing operators moving to procedure 11.100 on recovery net.
You think of it this way, the United States a couple of years ago made some public statement that, well, we're eliminating the manned component of our space program. Not only is it untrue, but it makes absolutely no sense. The United States, for it to be the dominant global hegemonic power, which it will never voluntarily cease to be, must control space as a platform of operations. This means having classified space programs at a military base is an absolute priority.
Experts suggest that not only might NASA and the government have a secret space program, but they might be investigating Earth for ancient connections to otherworldly beings.
There are a number of very compelling stories that I believe that have to do with NASA encounters with extraterrestrials. One of the more interesting ones to me is NASA's look at ancient advanced technology. There are massive rock paintings here in the United States at Sago Canyon and other places out in the Midwest of beings that look, what are these? Some of them do look very, very suggestive of non-humans.
Recent evidence suggests that NASA has been investigating ancient ruins in Chaco Canyon, New Mexico.
It does not make any sense that NASA would go to a place like Chaco Canyon and be doing research for astronomical reasons. I mean, NASA's all about space. That's their job. It's the space exploration agency of the U.S. government.
But some researchers point out that something mysterious is going on at Chaco Canyon.
Chaco Canyon is one of the most important sites, archaeological sites in the Southwest, and it is a mysterious one. It's well built, but it's not a megalithic site. There are roads that radiate from Chaco Canyon and go in many different directions. And it would seem that Chaco Canyon was the central part of some kind of extensive system, trading system. One of the mysteries of Chaco Canyon is that the people just vanished and left that area and abandoned the ruins, but archaeologists were unable to find any kind of burials or any kind of graveyards. And this was a mystery to archaeologists. They couldn't really understand how there could be this important center that was Chaco Canyon. And it must have had many people living there, yet there's no sign of any kind of funeral kind of arrangements or that people died there.
If Chaco Canyon isn't just a religious site, what could it have been used for? Some suggest that Chaco Canyon has an unusual energy that could be harnessed if in the right hands.
If I remember correctly, it's that if you use dowsing rods, literally the dowsing rods go in all directions at once, showing you that you're at a center of a ley line vortex or a sacred site, the intersection of many magnetic energy fields. And those magnetic energy fields are the things that the extraterrestrials have been harnessing for a long time, because instead of using the kind of fossil fuel, they actually were harnessing the electromagnetic energy field of the planet Earth. When you really start looking at that whole area, it appears that there were vast civilization at one point that was pretty sophisticated. It's literally like the beam me up Scotty situation, where they were there one day as an entire tribe and people, and the next day they were gone.
Could it be true that NASA was trying to figure out how to harness this energy? And if they have, would this ancient knowledge help them get further into space?
To me, if they're investigating ancient ruins, they're doing so because they think there's some connection between those ancient ruins and space. And that's, to me, the key thing as to why they would be involved. There are other reasons just don't make any sense, and the fact that certain areas are cordoned off now in the Chaco Canyon ruins is to me a little bit suspicious. I think that they found some connection that they want to exploit, and that's the only reason government agencies or the National Aeronautics and Space Administration would be interested. That's the only reason they'd be interested in doing that kind of research.
Research suggests that ancient sites around the world have been the key to secret government programs.
One of the things that I've investigated over the years is government interest in ancient mysteries and ancient artifacts. And this could actually explain NASA's interest in ancient sites and things like that. For example, through the Freedom of Information Act, the CIA has declassified roughly around 70 pages of a far longer file titled the Ararat Anomaly. And as the title suggests, it's actually a file on Noah's Ark. So you might wonder, why on earth is the CIA interested in Noah's Ark? You'd imagine historians, archaeologists, people in the church would be interested, but not the CIA. But the fact that they are interested suggests that somebody deep within the agency is taking note of the ancient astronaut scenario and possibly even interpreting like as some sort of space ark. People in government or the intelligence community either know or deeply suspect that there were ancient alien visitations, and they're trying to figure out what the truth is. And I think that explains things that NASA is up to today, looking at and marking and targeting ancient sites. So there's a unique and very alternative aspect to that scenario. What if they actually weren't ancient extraterrestrials, but ancient humans who developed highly advanced technology and may have left the planet?
You cannot exclude that. This is all possible. But if you accept the higher society in the past, you do not exclude extraterrestrials. This higher society can at the same time have had contact with extraterrestrials.
Is it possible that NASA and other government organizations are looking for